Hey there. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. This has been a very full week. Thanks for coming to hang out because I have a lot I would love to unpack if you're willing. It's been a really I don't know, just it's been kind of like a strange week. I don't know where you're at right now, but here in the United States, this past weekend, it was a holiday weekend. Federal holiday on Monday. So what that means is that for most people, they have 3 days off to spend with their friends and family. Yay. And personally, Gabby and I are really looking forward to this weekend because unfortunately she's had a lot of work requirements on the weekends inclusive, a lot of traveling, a lot of conferences, her company's like back at it. And so, for the last, 2 months essentially. And so really having a 3-day weekend where we could like kind of shut everything off, go to the farmer's market, grab some veggies and grill, hang out in the hammock, go for bike rides together, go for walks. I was coming out of chemo and I had a CT scan on Friday. So I knew that I would be, but I was going to rally for the weekend. I did. It was a great weekend by all means. It was a strange weekend because my wife and I we grabbed some golf clubs. I know, surprise, I'm a golfer. Actually, I never wanted to get into golf. I was very stubborn about it, and really for total asshole reasons. I did not want to be seen as that stereotypical golfing lesbian. I had my own issues apparently with it, and that prevented me from learning how to play golf for a while until my wife wanted to learn and asked me if I would join her. And then I realized it's a really difficult sport, and it's a full body sport also. If you've never swung a golf club, you use it's your arms and it's your core and it's your legs, and it blows my mind that I was able to go to a driving range and with my wife and hit these balls. I couldn't walk the next day. I could literally was doing hot tubbing and CBD lotions all over, but it was worth it. It was amazing. And at one point, my wife and I think by like Saturday or Sunday, we looked at each other and were like, "Gosh, it's been a really lovely normal weekend." We had a friend that was having a barbecue outdoors because I still don't do things with people indoors. Great, let's pop in. That was a lot, I have to say. I don't know if any of you are having issues, maybe because of COVID, but for me, between cancer and COVID, I've been very limited in my actual interactions with people. I'm out all the time, right? I am always out going for walks and bike rides and stuff, but I'm not in groups of people. It's a lot of, I have a hard time. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming to me now. I don't know if you can relate to that, but it was still amazing. It was still great. We're just having this very lovely weekend, but at the same time, I'm having this conversation in my head, and it made everything feel very weird. In that, so on Friday I have a CT scan, and I always say that cancer patients, the fact that we're not running down the street screaming always amazes me, right? I have this CT scan, and then I am processing it with the doctor afterwards. I had a doctor's appointment. Love my doctor. He's a great dude. Great. Like, I just love everything about him. We have great conversations. He's a dad, and he's just very kind and he's very thorough, and I really appreciate that. And so we're going through my CT scans, and unfortunately, there's growth. There's no new cancer, so that's lovely. But the existing cancer was growing and kind of very aggressively, actually. One of my lesions almost doubled in size since like March. So that's very aggressive. And the thing is, when you you never want to hear that you have cancer growing while you're on chemo, because there's generally, for most diseases, there's the like awesome chemo nuclear option that's just gonna like blow things up, and you can only do that for so long generally, because you can have something like an anaphylactic shock reaction where you get EpiPens and Benadryl and you're in the ICU, and so you have to stop doing that chemo, and then they put you on another chemo that's a little less effective, and you wait until that's not going to work, and so when you hear that, you're like, especially if you have already gone on to that second line, or maybe there's a third line, maybe there's not, which I'm at. So it's a lot of information to process, but you don't. You do this in a very, you have this conversation with the doctor, and then you leave, and of course I'm sad processing this. I driving home, crying a little bit. I call a friend. I went out to the lake and stared at the water for a long time, and just and I allowed myself to be sad. It's very sad information, and then your brain starts to take over, and you start to have that conversation of how do you mitigate your way through this? How do you not run down the street screaming? And you recognize that this is sad information, but it's not devastating information, because I am in the middle of procedures right now. If you recall, I'm having ablation. This is this process where they go in and they just burn the cancer to death right in the organ, and they're doing that in my lungs. So I'm in the middle of a treatment that could work, and this conversation could be moot, right? And if it's not, and the chemo that I'm on, I was kind of on a little bit of a lower dose. We were kind of saving the full power punch for times like this. So now they've upped it, and I'm getting very sick during chemo. So you're just having this whole conversation with yourself, and my oncologist is so sweet. I'm very grateful to him, because my wife and I, of course, I come home and I shared that information, and it's just heavy, and we're both sad, and we're still going to go into our weekend and live life, because that's what you do. But it just had us both just very sad, because we live in a strange world where my body works, and we had just recently, we went to Marrakesh, Morocco together. We went to my nephew's graduation. We were just doing normal things, and yet I'm still not in the clear by any means, right? So it's weird. But my oncologist called that evening and chatted with me and was like, hey, take a step back. But like, this is by no means crisis. We've got let's get through these next 4 to 6 weeks of the surgeries and potential more radiation and blah, blah. Your liver's clean, your colon's clean, let's just change that perspective. Okay, thank you. I breathe. And we go into the weekend. And again, we're having a normal weekend, and something else happened while we were grilling and watching fireworks in our neighborhoods. One of our neighboring communities just north of us had a young man that decided to crawl up on top of a building and start sniper shooting people randomly. And you have that information, and you're like, what do you do with that? This is such a crazy, tragic thing where people just lined up their chairs in this tiny little village town to watch floats go by and the kids eating ice cream, and some dude decides he's just gonna go shoot people because he's angry. I don't know, it's weird. And you're just supposed to package that away and continue on in your everyday life. And so I don't know, the rest of this week I'm out and enjoying myself, riding in circles around Chicago, afraid to ever stop because I'm afraid that it's gonna go away, and yet also really, really enjoying it because it's amazing and awesome. There's nothing more than I love to be able to just tool around and explore. So I've got all of that going through, and then my surgery got rescheduled. They actually upped it, so it's on Monday, which, yay. When my doctor called me yesterday, I was arriving at a friend's house because we were going to go for a walk. So I was putting my bike in her garage, and they called and they were like, "Oh, we're going to change your schedule and it has to be on Monday." I'm like, "All right, go." And then again, okay, no problem. Hang up the phone, go for a walk to the zoo with my friend. No big deal. We're enjoying life. Get back on my bike, and all of a sudden my brain remembered, holy shit, you're having surgery on Monday, which is only like 4 days away. And what? Now I have to jump into that space. Not really. I'm not going there until Sunday. But I do prep for. I've had so many surgeries that I have this whole prep thing, and it's about eating total plant-based and going on a juice diet for 3 days to clean my body out to make sure that everything is functioning the best it can as I go in for another one of these life-saving surgeries. So you see, it's just so weird. I was supposed to get my bike. I was going to take my bike to the bike shop on Tuesday, but the bike shop was on the street where all of those people were assassinated, and I just thought I just can't. I couldn't go there. So I'm going to take it this week. Because life just rolls on. That's what we do, right? Told you. Lots of squirrels. But so you know, I am going in on Monday for this procedure. They already know going in, there's more cancer. It's going to be more complicated. So I'm definitely going to get a chest tube. So excited now that I know what that feels like. And I will be in for at least 2 or 3 days. So you will hear from me by the end of next week for sure, if not before. I might reach out. Maybe we chat on Sunday as I get ready for this procedure. I'd like that if you're up for it. Okay. I'm going to let you go. I will keep rambling. Yeah. Crazy week. I hope yours was better. Talk to you later.